In this video, I'd like to talk about lighting, in particular the direction of light in photographs. So I've got a basketball here, I'm in my garage, I shut the door to try to get it to be as dark as possible, and I'm going to shine the light, my flashlight, just in different places on the basketball so you can see what happens. So if I shine the light coming from the left hand side, what we can see obviously is that the right is completely covered up in shadow, and on the left you see a lot of detail. Now if I change that to the shining the ball on the right hand side, you see the opposite. The left hand side is completely in shadow, and the right hand side you see all the detail. If I shine it from above, you see bright detail, or bright light shining on the top, and the detail is on the top and in the middle and the sides, whereas the bottom is completely dark in shadow. And from the bottom you see the detail in the bottom but not at the top. So that's just something to think about. It's something very basic, but you might not think about it as you're taking photographs normally. Also, how close, how do I want to say this, how intense is the light on the subject? So here, did you notice some of the times when I was holding the ball up here in the video, look at the top of the basketball, the light is so bright up there, and I can even make this flashlight brighter. It's so bright that the whites are what's called blown out. There's really no detail. You can't see the little like texture in the basketball anymore. It's completely blown out. If I walk away a little bit with my flashlight, now you can see the texture in the basketball, but I'm pointing it in the same direction. So this kind of shows you something. This is a lesson that's kind of broader than shining a flashlight on a basketball, because it's like when you take photographs outside, this has a big effect. Even inside, where is the light source, what angle is it shining down on, and what intensity is it shining down on? If you're taking a photograph of a person at noon and the sun's beating down, it's a hot summer day, expect to have something a little bit like this. That's the effect of it. If you as the sun goes down in the afternoon, or as it rises in the morning, it's always coming from the side, and it's not quite as intense. So my flashlight will lower down here. So coming from the side and not quite as intense, and you see a lot more detail in the photograph. Now photographers call the first hour or two of the day and the last hour or two of daylight, they call that the golden hour. So that could either be as the sun is just coming up, or as the sun is going down. And I think this is why. I mean, you see the sun's beating down real hard, you're losing a lot of interesting detail. That the light is really harsh on top. Even if it weren't so bright, if I turn my flashlight down, the light just coming from the top can be unflattering or just uninteresting. I don't even really see the contour of the basketball all that well if I just shine the light from on top to the bottom. But again, if I shine the flashlight from the side, you definitely get more of a dramatic sort of effect. The curvature of the ball shows. And if you look at a lot of photographs that are taken of people, a lot of portraits, they have a lot of side lighting, meaning they're rarely are they shining a light right from their, right onto their forehead. It's usually like this, and it kind of, in a basketball you get this nice shadow like this, but on a face you get real nice contour lines where the shadows kind of can create an interesting effect on the human face. So these are all things to think about. Again, this is not only just for shining a flashlight onto a basketball in a garage. This applies to whether you're outside taking photographs or whether you're indoors. the aspects of how intense is the light, and also what direction is that light coming from, make a huge difference in your photograph. And understanding that is key to understanding, or key to achieving a better photograph. One thing that I forgot to mention but should not be neglected is the idea of backlighting. So I'm going to put the flashlight behind the basketball and I'll kind of move it around just a little bit, and you can kind of, hopefully you can get an idea and see what the effect is of lighting that comes from behind. And I'll raise it a little bit. And backlighting can be a pretty powerful creative tool for you. So a lot of times the detail is not in the object, but you see the silhouette of the object. So it's kind of it can create a mysterious effect. So that's backlighting.